Hey everyone, it's Dan from the Nostalgia Test Podcast. And just wanted to let you know, if you're looking for a unique customized gift for your friends or family, hire the Nostalgia Test Podcast to create a special personalized private episode or to roast your friends or family. We create each personalized gift with special show notes and quotes just like the real thing. And also, why not invite us to host your next virtual event? Go to nostalgiatest.com and click the Hire Us tab, and let's get nostalgic. On today's episode, we invite I Hate Your Taste in Movies to put Aladdin to the ultimate test. You ain't never had a friend like me. Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Oh man, Dan practiced and he got it this time. Love it, Dan. That one was a good one.
It's just so embarrassing now that I forget. Like, I used to record it on my own, and now I'm just doing it. It's like, let's just do it live. Let's just do it live. Hey, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. I'm Dan Dissinger here in LA. I'm here with my longtime friend and co-host, Manny Coelho. Manny, how you doing tonight, man?
Dan. Gotta say, I'm really excited because, again, we have another guest episode, and I love guest episodes. And two, obviously, because we're putting one of my favorite all-time Disney movies, Aladdin, to the test. Yes, one of my favorite, Dan. Yes. All right.
We're gonna have a long talk one day about your favorites. Meatloaf.
Oh, everything's my favorite. Yes, you call me Chris Christie from the Stern Show.
I love Batman.
Everything's his favorite. Disney, classic Disney animation films, they hit big time, and they still, to me, all of them pass the test. And I'm glad we put this. I'm glad the way, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to put it to the test. Maybe I'm just thinking that it was great, and it's not. And I'm so happy that we put this to the test. So, and we have guests today. So let's introduce the guests so we could get right in, because I could continue talking about this whole movie.
Absolutely. So. We have two amazing guests, Jenn and Austin from I Hate Your Taste in Movies. I love the title of that podcast. I love it. Thank you both for being here. And why don't you let the audience know a little bit about your podcast and what you guys do?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Jenn, so you guys can get which voice is which. We are a weekly movie podcast. We're three friends, myself, Austin, and our friend Jackie, who couldn't make it here this week, unfortunately. But each of us have very different taste in movies, so someone will bring one of their favorites to the table, and the other two usually haven't seen it. And it never goes over well. We just kind of rip each other's favorite movies apart. And Austin's a really big musical fan. I'm a big horror movie fan. Jackie's a big action movie fan. So we kind of cover the different genres and, put our friendship to the ultimate test.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I actually was listening to your episode about Clue, and it was just so funny to hear both the love and the hatred for it at the same time. I'm like, I love that movie. Oh my God. It was great.
I love Clue, honestly.
Jackie, apparently.
Yeah.
That's such a great
Is that the one with Columbo in it?
No. What?
I have to go to the can again. I don't want to miss nothing.
That's got meatball.
No.
What is it? It's not. Who comes in and he's like, I got to go to the can again. I don't want to miss nothing.
I have to go to the can again. I don't want to miss nothing.
That's Columbo. That's but not from that.
What movie is that one from? That drop?
It's probably just from Columbo.
No, it was like another murder mystery movie. I got to go back and think about that.
Yeah,
okay, whatever.
It was not Columbo. It was the one with Tim Curry when all the people come to the house and there's like a murder, they just keep getting killed.
Obviously there's a murder. It's like Clue, but I don't remember it, so I gotta go check that out. Then
maybe we'll have to do it one day. But today we're talking about the 1992 Disney classic Aladdin, which starred, not just the powerhouse of Robin Williams, but also Steve from Full House, voice of Aladdin, Gilbert Gottfried. overall, basically, this is a really confusing thing when you start looking at who's in the film, and then you're looking at the film. It's like, okay, Disney, here we go. Do what you do, but do what you do best. But it was, I mean, big at that point in 1992. Obviously, it made $504 million in 1992, which is like, what, $3 billion now due to inflation. It was on a budget of only $28 million. I mean, that's a big win for Disney. And it spawned also one of my favorite video games from Super Nintendo, the Aladdin Nintendo game.
Holy nostalgia.
All I could think about while watching this was, this is one of the best video games we ever played, like, as kids, because of this movie. And like the lava in this was done so well. Like one of my notes was like lava detail was great. Maybe that's why I had the picture of him, like the volcano, just because like how detailed, like that looked real in comparison to all the other drawings in here. That was like when Disney was really just doing like all their solid things, were like the marble in this was great too. Like the illustration, it looked like real marble, where the lava to me like just stood out. And I then, because of that, remember the video game where you had to beat the lava and get out with the flying carpet. Yeah. So good. But first impressions, Jan, before we go, I'm going to go on Manny tangents here. So, first impressions, what do you guys think? I'm going to hold up on my first impression.
Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite Disney movies. It's definitely kind of the Disney Renaissance is kind of the happy place for me. Definitely watched it a lot as a kid, then didn't watch it for a very long time, so fun to kind of go back and revisit it. And I'm so glad you opened with how it stars Steve from Full House, because also that episode of Full House where they go to Disney World and then there's like special guest star, or well, they keep seeing Steve everywhere as Aladdin. That was great. Nice little callback. I'm also, because Jen mentioned I love musicals, I'm a big Broadway fan, so like now coming back to it more as an adult, like Leah Salonga, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Jen, what do you think? Like, first impressions, I would love to hear your first impressions of this as well.
Yeah, I mean, same. I watched this when I was a kid, and it was definitely one of my favorites. This was, like, the era of, like, the best Disney movies, aka everyone thinks the era they grew up in is the best time for movies. But for me, it's true. So I definitely loved it and watched it all the time. And I think the last time I revisited it before now was just shortly after Robin Williams passed away. I was kind of going through all of his greatest hits, and this was definitely in there. So it's kind of like a bittersweet watch now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. When I watched this again, so I haven't watched this in a while. I think the one time that I watched it, ironically, was because I had rented. We had been going snowboarding, and back in the mid 2000s, you would always find old VHS tapes, and Aladdin. There was 2 Aladdin ones at this one house, and I remember popping it in and like screaming the lyrics. Cold November rain. That's it. And my friend's going, why do you know all these songs? Why do you know? How do you remember this? And I was like, I don't know. Just like it all came back, and I was just like into it. So then watching it again, I was like, oh my God, that's Robin Williams, the intro, the guy who was like, making fun of the hookah and then can make fries and whatever, and like finding out that he did that as like an improv thing. Like there was he was just like picking up random things at the studio and like saying random things. And I was like, oh wow, like he just blew up this movie, like killed this movie. Like I wouldn't, how like they just did the live action Disney movies. Mm-hmm. It was gutsy for Will Smith to do this because, like, you're always going to be compared to Robin Williams' Genie. Yeah. Like, the impressions that man could do is phenomenal.
We have to talk about some of those impressions, though. I have a list of almost all of them, and none of them are for children. I mean, he literally did an impersonation of William F. Buckley Jr. I don't know why you're doing a William F. Buckley Jr. impression.
Well, that's easy because Disney does why Disney's so great is that they find a way to mash up a movie that's meant for kids, but also they know that adults are with these kids at these movies, right? Because you have to bring them to the movie. So it has to still be enjoyable to the parents a little bit. So they find a way to mash it up, and that's why I think Disney, as much you could hate on Disney, like all big marketing powerhouse, blah, blah, blah. Those guys, there's there's science, there's an art to everything that they do, and it's to me phenomenal.
I just want to like just jump in real quick, and then I want to like go to like some of the like parts of the movie, but like. You were saying, Manny, about like Robin Williams like ad-libbing all this. Apparently, like he did so much ad-libbing that the script was rejected for best adapted screenplay because there was so much ad-lib. And also there was like 16 hours of material that he improvised for this movie. That's out of hand. I think it was like, this is the movie, I think around this time he was just so powerful. I think after this he did that movie Toys. And I think like Robin Williams just couldn't be stopped. Like they weren't going to say no to him. And I think in this one, some of the stuff needed to be said no to, because it was just like, if you have 16 hours of material and all the ad lib is rejecting your screenplay for like best adapted screenplay, that's a lot of like, you don't need a script. And Steve is sitting there waiting for his line for like 8 hours in the sound booth, like being like, do I go now?
Man, I'm like, release the Robin Williams cut. I want the 16 hours of the genie. What else did he do?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, like how could that have been put in? Where? Yeah, give me like what they do, the recent Justice League cut.
Yeah.
It was the Snyder cut or whatever. I want that. Yeah, give me that, because I'll eat that up. That's like I was just thinking about what you said, and that this is my favorite Disney era. Like besides Toy Story, like I have a special like bond with Toy Story, but like the animation's great, but like it moves away from musicals.
Oh, not Toy Story. Toys.
Toys. No. I'm saying
okay.
Comparing like I'm saying like when Pixar came, Disney stopped making this kind of animation. Like you didn't really see it that much. It like kind of like it was like Little Mermaid, Lion King, Aladdin, and then it kind of slowly like you start to kind of remember, but you forget, and then Frozen came, and that was like the musical that everyone loved recently. But like these songs, like I could, Under the Sea comes on, and I'll still remember that. And Never Had a Friend Like Me, Prince Ali, like it just like all of a sudden clicks, and I remember every lyric. But like when Pixar came, all the movies were just it was just a story. You didn't have like songs just pop up out of nowhere. They like shied away from the musical with the Pixar like animation, I think.
It also kind of changed the landscape of like voice acting for animated movies, because this was kind of one of the first times that they had like an A-list celebrity doing a voice, and that kind of became the standard after that.
Yeah, true, because like Little Mermaid didn't have, they were just voice actors that you didn't really know about. Yeah, and Robin Williams, and then like Lion King had Jonathan Taylor Thomas, wasn't he?
The James Earl Jones.
And then James Earl Jones. So like, all of a sudden it became bigger, and like even the singers now are well-known singers. Yeah. Which kind of sucks for like voice actors that, had really great like careers because they could do so many different voices, and then it's like, oh well, now we have to sell it, as a movie with this guy in it.
Exactly. Like every animated movie that comes out now is just named.
Yeah, the title card it's like Cars, but then whoever's playing that voice or whatever.
Jen, you were gonna say something. What was it you were gonna say before?
I don't remember, but thank you for coming back to me anyway.
No! Mentos, the fresh maker.
Sorry. Okay. So if we're looking, like, I would love to like go through some of this movie, because even though we love it and it's a great fun watch.
What are you about to do, Dan?
When I watch it now, this movie, I said it before when you stepped away that 30 seconds in this movie, I felt uncomfortable already, because like I was just like, oh boy, Disney's going to do this thing. And the most uncomfortable stuff for me also was like when I saw Jasmine for the first time, and the way Jasmine is drawn. Jasmine has the most impossible waist of all time. And I was like, holy shit. This is where Kim Kardashian got her like influence. She like literally she's drawn And Kim Kardashian's like, she's like an hourglass, but the most drastic one. And then her waist is like this big and it's like out this way. And so like, I was like, and all the women in this movie were more objectified than most Disney films because they were just like paraded around like way more like objects than any Disney film I've ever seen.
Yeah, towards the end when Jasmine's in like the sexy red outfit, there's one scene where like her waist is just not even drawn. It's just like she's a triangle and then another triangle at the bottom and they meet in the middle at these tiny little points. And I'm like, you could have maybe just put a curve in there, but that's fine.
And when her clothes go back, when her clothes go back, they don't change. They just change color. Yeah. So literally, she's just been wearing the same thing the whole time. And it's like, all right, make it red now. All right, now I gotta make it blue. Like she's always drawn that way. And
the scene that Jen is talking about is the scene when she's pretending to be in love with Jafar.
Yeah,
like when she's trying to trick him. And I noticed that too. I was like, where's her waist? Like what just happened to this illustrator? Like, it was good. And that goes back to Dan, where you were saying, like, how they're trying to meld, like who was that drawn for?
Creeps.
You know?
Yeah, great question.
You know? So, and this is also like, okay, again, I love Disney, but like, wasn't Frozen the first time that at the end the character didn't rely on a man to save them, or like the relationship was the two sisters, the love of the two sisters is what saved the fairy tale ending. So it was like the first time Disney was like, okay, we're not going to do where it's like female needs help by a male, storyline. And that's why like Frozen, like Disney finally like woke up and started changing their storylines and stuff. So, we'll talk about that was a Manny tangent. Back to the fun parts. Now, what did you got? What's your favorite like song?
I mean, is A Whole New World a cop out? I feel like it's A Whole New World.
Why A Whole New World? I would love to know.
Mm-hmm. It's just a fun one. It's just not a fun one. It's just a nice song. I like it.
That's gonna be more.
Is that a cop out?
It's not a cop out. I don't think it's a cop out.
It's a good song.
I think mine's a cop out. One of my favorite songs is Never Had a Friend Like Me, just because of just like the animation in that was great. I understand what you mean by The Whole New World. It was like, I mean, in that time, like it could have been like put on like Z100 as like a love song. Like it was just like being played. You know, it was.
Totally
was it on the radio?
100%.
I'm sure there were, yeah.
The Whole New World's so weird, like, because, like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, when I was a kid, I never noticed the details of, like, where they're going. Mm-hmm. But then, like, this is one night, they went to Egypt, then they went to Greece, then they went to China, and they were hanging out in China. Like, I was like, yeah, we're going to get back, in a little bit.
It's magic.
Yo, that carpet's magic.
Yeah.
The magic carpet ride.
Super magic.
Yo, they even the whole thing about Egypt, like even the joke about the Sphinx like losing the nose,
yeah,
like they put that in there. I was like, so that's the thing about like Disney's so good at like putting these little things that like relate to.
Yeah, but I felt like that was also a comment towards like the way Jasmine was drawn. She had like no nose, like literal no nose. She had no nose, like none. Her and Aladdin had like no nose. Every other character was literally their noses were drawn, and it was just like they're doing this for an interesting. I don't know what's going on, but every time like Jasmine looks forward or like in weird ways, like there's just like one line, and it's like that's her nose. Like let's just go back to making her waist like Dolly Parton.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
Did you hear that little clue in the about the feather on him? That every time he lied, the feather on his hat dropped. Marty McFly, get out of here!
What? No.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, there's like this little Easter egg. It's like when he's like talking to her and he's telling the story and stuff, it drops when he's telling a lie. Huh. And I was like, oh. So now, like, I watched it differently, but I was like, oh, they're putting that in. Like, they even thought about that. But can we talk about how Abu ruins most of this movie?
Now that is a hot
take.
No!
Yeah, like what?
Yo,
no.
Aladdin goes to get the lamp.
Right.
He's following the rule of not touching anything.
Uh-huh.
And this damn monkey goes and has to touch that stupid jewel.
Well, he's a monkey.
It doesn't matter. He's Aladdin's best friend. Okay? Decides to, he's spoiling it all. And guess what? He steals the lamp again. Which then Aladdin forgets that the reason why they were in the lava pit of hell was because of this monkey. And he steals it again. And during the music, you never had a friend like me. You never had a friend like me. Song. He's trying to fish the gold into his hat that is around.
He's hungry.
Monkey, no, gold is not food, Dan. He's
Aladdin
not trying to get.
Forced him.
No. He's not trying to get something from column B. He's just grabbing change.
Okay,
that's not giving him food.
Okay,
I mean, the gold could be exchanged for food back at the market.
He
True,
also gets
but
them
he has
caught.
food right there.
He also
Shut
gets
up,
them
Manny.
caught. Like, he shoplifts and then, like, gets them caught and gets them chased.
But then
Exactly.
Aladdin forces him to give his
ruins this movie.
Aladdin forces him to.
He's the real villain.
No. Yeah, but he's also a monkey.
Yeah.
And without him, he wouldn't have the lamp. And at the same time, he wanted to eat that bread in the beginning, which was a French baguette, because that's what the illustrators are paying attention to every other detail. Like, let's draw bread, French baguette. And they like what is happening? Everything else, they're like computer details for lava and all this stuff. And it's like, we got to draw some bread. I just draw a French baguette, like whatever.
Yeah, I think the animators paid a lot of attention to detail, but they didn't understand what culture this was, because they're sort of like, it's a little Arabic, a little Indian, a little bit, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Nothing. They didn't pay any
exactly.
attention.
We're not going to pay attention to the bread that they eat there.
No,
we're
but
just going to make French baguettes.
We're definitely going to make sure everyone realizes that whatever culture this is, it's really violent. People are slitting people's throats or talking about beheading people. We're going to cut someone's hand off. It's just like we're going to whip children in the middle of a road. Like, it is, we're going to make that apparent, but everything else is like, we're, whatever. So
back to Abu. You said that he wanted to eat the food, while Aladdin is like, no, I want to give my bread to these poor kids. Yeah. And Abu's like reluctant to give it out. This is why he is the real evil of this movie.
Oh, shut up.
It's him.
Do you know what always bothered me about that scene is that Aladdin gives his bread to the kids, and those are little kids. That's more than enough bread. Abu could have just split his bread with Aladdin, and then everyone has bread. Not to be all, like, communist on you guys and be like, they should have shared the bread. But, like, now the kids have all the bread, and you have none of the bread. You guys should have just worked together.
They could have. I agree. There was enough bread to go around.
Yeah.
That's got meatball.
Yeah.
Because it got bigger once it was
like
in someone's
all or
hand.
nothing.
It's small, then it got big, then it got small, then it got big again. And when the kids are eating it, gigantic bread.
I'm just impressed that bread stayed intact for that whole, like, chase scene song through the town. Like, Aladdin had a grip on that.
Yeah.
I have to go get her wipe. Yeah.
I hate that song. Actually, going back, I didn't like that song. I thought that I was going to like that song. I didn't like that song.
What song was that one?
The Street Rat song.
Street Rat song. Can we talk about that phrase for a second?
Least favorite song.
Can we just talk about that phrase for a second? Street Rat. I was just like, wow, they're really like. I heard that so many times in the beginning of the film. I was like, damn. I'm like, I was talking about it the other day. I was like, were there other types of rats? And two, I was just like, this is really. They're trying to say something without saying things, and that's the thing. Like, Disney like does that stuff, but then like in the middle of things, they say interesting stuff. There was like that lyric. There was a lyric in the Prince Ali song that you can't really hear too well unless you put it, I think, on closed captions, where they're basically saying everything that he has, and then all of a sudden in the song he says that he's got slaves and servants.
Yeah,
and they're happy to work for him or something. Happy to sell for him or something.
Happy little
slaves. Oh, I caught that.
What?
I caught that.
Yeah.
And they said the word slave 3 times in this movie, and it was like very apparent. Like, I was like, wow, we're going to cut hands off. We're going to use the word slave. We're going to do this. We're going to objectify all these women. They're all going to be played by the same voice person except for Jasmine. And everything was just like unreal. Like, it was really interesting to watch it with new eyes. But yeah.
Today's episode of the Nostalgia Test podcast is brought to you by Lithology Brewing, located at 211A Main Street in Farmingdale, New York. please go to www.lithologybrewing.com for more information. That's LITHOLOGY brewing.com. So we like this movie?
I don't know, Manny. Is like your favorite.
Well, no, I'm just gonna go back to. I know we're skipping around, but I got notes here that I wrote.
Go ahead.
Like to simplify them getting this lamp is like not to go away from the fact that you're right. This is terrible that they use slaves 3 times and stuff. But if you have a magic carpet, why aren't you jumping on that magic carpet and saying, "Take us to the lamp"? You're walking through this cave this whole time, and the carpet's walking with you. Like, you're using your energy for no reason when you could literally, like, all of a sudden the carpet's like, "Oh man, lava, let's go, jump on me." When he could have just been like, "Where are you trying to go? You want to be friends? You looking for the lamp? All right, jump on. I can take you to that lamp." And then they would skip the whole ruby grabbing because Abu wouldn't just be waiting, watching Aladdin, like, "Oh look, he's climbing to go get that."
So really,
lamp.
it's the magic carpet's fault.
Interesting.
No, it just goes back to Abu.
No.
But
I don't like Abu.
They're not.
I'm not Team Abu.
They're not allowed to touch anything in the cave. Would touching the magic carpet count? If they got on it to fly, would that activate the anger?
Also,
No, because
Thank you,
the
Jen.
carpet touches him.
Shut up, Manny.
What? The carpet made the conscious decision and said yes.
Oh, so anything that doesn't give consent to be
Yeah.
touched, then
Yeah.
the Cave of Wonders is like wrong. So like this thing gave consent to be touched, so we're good to go.
Yeah, because the carpet was already playing with Abu's hat. So like the cave didn't get alerted then. So the cave was like, all right, carpet's playing with the Abu.
No.
I'm going with that. I'm going with
consent
that.
is the real lesson of this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yo, the Sultan actually, Jafar actually like tells Aladdin right when he's the old man. He's like, things aren't what they seem. He gives him the clue right there that don't trust anything that you're about what's about to happen. So Aladdin should be listening right from the beginning. Is
the Sultan the father from Beauty and
not
the Beast?
Sultan.
Because
Sultan,
Jasmine's
from Beauty and the
dad
Beast.
looks like the dad from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I think Disney has a couple stock characters, and like short, round father is one of them.
Yes. Yes.
He is like so short and so round. He had no legs. He just had like shoes at the bottom of his roundness. Like it was just like shoes. And then like it was just so weird to see. And everyone's accent is all over the place. Like, and I feel like thank God sort of, because I'm like, if they were like, now do accent from random like area here in the world, I think it would be way worse. But like Aladdin has like a New York accent, and like Iago, obviously because it's Gilbert Gottfried, has like a 1950s New York accent. Like, and it's like, and it's unbelievable that like hearing it now, being like, what is that? They really get away with that.
Did you like Iago's character?
I'm not crazy about Iago. Gilbert Gottfried is exhausting.
Oh, I want to hear more about that. Why?
Is there more? He's exhausting. I don't know.
I agree.
I just don't know how like no one ever heard him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't have anything to add.
Like, I'm always perplexed about why he's a star. So guys, if you like Nostalgia Test podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Gilbert Gottfried himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I don't find him that funny. That's LITHOLOGY brewing.com. And I guess, like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just, like, I've tried to get into him, and I'm just like, so you just yell a lot, and you have, like, an interesting voice. So, like, that got you, you know. And surprising, in the era that he grew up in, that got him everywhere. It wasn't like social media era where, like, untalented people can be making a lot of money. That's LITHOLOGY brewing.com. He found ways to make money. He was obviously casted for his, I don't know, comic genius and being what he is or whatever. So like, I don't know. He makes more money than I do. So like, what is it? You know, he found a way. Like, I don't know what it is.
I felt like Jafar could have like taken everything over if he just got rid of the bird. And maybe Manny, maybe I'm coming to your side now with this Abu Iago thing. Maybe these like animal best friends are getting in people's way.
Disagree, because Iago is the one that came up with the plan to like marry Jasmine and become the Sultan.
That's got meatball.
So Iago's the thinker. He's the brains behind the operation. Like, Jafar fucked it up because he's not very good at being evil. He's way too obvious. Does not know how to adapt. But, like, if Iago was the one pulling the strings, like, bad guys would have won.
And is Jafar, like, does he know how to, like, create magic? Or, like, was that like, hypnotizing thing, like, what was that?
I don't fully know. They don't really explain, like, why he's a kind of sorcerer, I guess. Slightly magic. Because he does hypnotize him using the staff, but, like...
But he's not that great with it, because you know how it comes in and out?
Staff, but, yeah, like, he's not super good at it, so I don't... Yeah, they really don't develop that at all. They're like, this is Jafar, he's kind of magic, he's kind of evil, just roll with it.
Yeah, what is he considered? Like, what is the Sultan calls him something?
I don't remember.
He's one
like
of the advisors, but also no one else is ever in the palace except for them.
Emptiest palace ever.
Like, you're like that whole big trusted advisor. I'm like, do you have another advisor?
Yeah,
get another one.
We need a second opinion.
Yeah, the
like where I felt like it was just the Sultan, Jasmine, and Jafar, right?
And her tiger.
And the tiger, yeah.
And the tiger. No one else lived in that palace. Like, there wasn't anybody giving you the food. Like, Aladdin had more servants.
Oh, my God.
It's so many.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Well, I mean, they never even talk about what happened to Jasmine's mom. It's just like,
they don't need to.
You assume
because back
dead.
then, Disney hated moms.
She's a Disney princess, dead mom.
That's like a thing.
Yeah.
That was like just known. You're like, oh, I'm about to watch a Disney movie. Mm-hmm. There's a dead mom.
That's got meatball.
So how
we don't talk about dead mom, and trauma happens, and we don't want to talk about that trauma.
And if the mom is there in the Disney movie, then it's like, oh no, she's going to die, and then she dies.
Yeah. Or she's evil.
Yes.
Like, you know.
And poor Jasmine is left with her goofy ass dad that like is just like the worst leader of all time. And I mean, horrible. And like she has to fend for herself. Thank God she has a tiger. And like, because if it was for that tiger, it'd just be like her, you know, walking around.
What does the tiger do?
Well, I mean, at least it's some sort of like
cuddle
person to talk
to.
Yeah.
It's her pet.
Conversation.
She just sits there and talks to the pet. That's why she wants to get out and like hang out go on the streets and hang out.
That was the worst.
Get to see the world. See, that's the thing. A Whole New World is like a big scene because think about it, like she's always trapped in the palace. She's never really seen anybody but her father and so Jafar. Or why can't I pronounce his name all of a sudden? And as we could tell, there aren't any other people in the palace. So like her seeing A Whole New World, like, wow, that's a lot. She saw a lot. First time she saw a bird in the sky that wasn't like
she touched
like,
a
what
cloud.
Is that thing?
She held part of a cloud.
Yes, Austin. I literally was like, when that scene happened, like, what? I was like, I don't remember that at all. But when it almost like it looked like it almost knocked her over, and it was just like, what? It's like. I was like, that was so odd. But like when they were like just flying around, I'm like, how is her mind not blown? And also,
it was.
Like, but I'd be scared.
That's why she fell in love.
I mean, I know it's an animated film, but like it's also like
Dan's trying to justify the fact they went across the country. Across the world in like 8 hours. Not even like an hour.
2 hours, and they came back that night, and then he gets arrested. Then he gets beaten up, chained, and thrown over a cliff into the water. Like,
yeah, they killed him in Die Hard style.
Yes.
I thought I was watching Lethal Weapon. Yeah, that's what I was. I was like, what are we watching right now?
I thought he was gonna have to take his shoulder out of his socket like Mel Gibson did in Lethal Weapon's like, to crawl out of the chains. I was just like, this is a violent movie.
And I thought it was messed up that Genie was like, I can't do this for free. Like, wait. He's supposed to be your friend. And you're like, nah, I can't do this for free.
Minus
I
one
gotta
wish.
I gotta pretend that you made a wish. Like he didn't want to do it in the kindness of his own heart. He had to just do it.
But
He's like, I can't do this one.
If the genie could do that and be like, oh, what's that? I just heard your wish. Okay, here, it's done. Why didn't he just do that to free himself like years ago? Just being like, can't hear you. That must have been your wish. Boop.
Agreed.
I make the rules. I'm the fucking genie.
Exactly. And I don't understand the fact that all of a sudden somebody else gets a hold of it. Now he's like, oh, he's my master now. I'm like, yo, but Aladdin still had one more wish.
Yeah, aren't you still in that contract?
Yeah. That's why I was like, no, that's where that rule got broken. And I was like, yo, this just jumped the shark. Like, wait a minute. Like, I would have been like, no, he can't be your master. I still got one more wish. Like, he could be your master after. Like, all of a sudden, what happens if Jasmine just picked it up after?
She gets 3 wishes.
But, like, what, now he's a master to 3 people? I mean, now he's a genie to 3 people?
Yeah.
Because he still went to Aladdin after.
Whoever rubs it.
So, like...
Just whoever rubbed it most recently?
He's just giving out rubs?
Yeah.
I have to go get her wipe.
Like, what's going on? Them could just stand there rubbing at the lamp and be like, me, it's my turn.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're my master. Like, what are you talking about?
Yo,
like, that can't...
If we all 4 like had the genie's lamp, we could just go, okay, we each get 3 wishes. Let's compile the 3 wishes in a long list and really figure this out and just pass the lamp along to every person. It's like, all right, what's your wish number 2? What's your wish number 2? That's what it kind of looked like. Like if the monkey rubbed the lamp, does the monkey get wishes?
Yo, you don't want that monkey to get wishes.
I mean, does the genie work for animals? I feel like you gotta be a human to get the wishes.
I feel like it's in the contract. We didn't get to see. It probably says that you have to be a human.
But you could probably be an animal that talks because Iago speaks, so maybe he can get wishes.
But can he rub the lamp?
Yeah, why not? He just goes like this.
Feather
With
at
what?
it.
Yeah, feather. So here's my question. Why couldn't Aladdin pass it over at the end to Jasmine and been like, okay, my wish is going to be that I'm still a prince. You're going to wish him to be free.
Well, because she's a woman, and though Aladdin might be woke, he's not. He's just like, let's just make him free and get out of here. And because she got her wish, Manny. Her wish was to marry someone that she loved. That was it.
Yeah.
That's it. And not to be a 15-year-old girl married off to this 50-year-old wizard.
She's so young. I forgot about that.
Do they say her age in this?
I assume that all Disney princesses are only old as like 15 or 16.
Yeah. Because
Ariel was 16.
For some reason,
she's like
remember
14.
the rule having been that she had to be married by her 16th birthday. But they never actually say that. They just say by your birthday. And I'm like, why did I think it was by her 16th birthday? Because I was prepared to be like, this is fucked up.
I assumed it was 16 as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I think in Sleeping Beauty, I forget how old she was. I think she's like maybe the oldest of the Disney princesses, possibly. But even that,
she looks the oldest
because they drew her very differently. Like, but I feel like Jasmine is she's not 16. Ariel is like fish years.
No, dude, I think Ariel was 16. I thought the Little Mermaid takes place on her 16th birthday, and she doesn't show up in the shell. Weren't they celebrating her 16th birthday?
That sounds right.
I haven't seen that in so long.
I haven't seen it so long either, but I feel like they were going over, and then they're like, and this is Ariel, and she like isn't there. Yeah. The sisters are singing about like being sisters, and like they're celebrating her 16th birthday. It's definitely the teens, but I think it was 16. Like as if she was celebrating a sweet 16. So this is an easy Google search.
According to HuffPost, the rundown on the 11 official Disney princesses are: Snow White was 14, Jasmine was 15, Ariel was 16, Aurora 16, Mulan 16, Merida 16, Belle was 17, which I don't believe. Pocahontas was 18, which I don't think historically that's even correct. Rapunzel was 18, Cinderella was 19, and Tiana was 19. Aurora 16, so that's Sleeping Beauty, so she was only 16. So the oldest was Cinderella and Tiana, which were 19.
Okay,
I
so
mean, they weren't
Hanks,
married
basically.
yet by 19. Come on, ladies. Dying alone.
Come on.
back then that's tough. What's funny is that we're discussing ages of a cartoon character. So like, really, they could be any age.
No,
but
they're not.
But it's messed up that like that they actually put an age to it. Like, and they were like, oh, this is cool. This is fine. Like, we're gonna write this movie. And she's so Ariel was 16 years old when she married
a 30-year-old man.
The prince.
He's
Well, how
definitely
old was
closer
he?
to 30. He's got to be late 20s.
No, he was like 20s, early 20s, because back then, like you had to be you were getting married younger. Like my mom got married at 19.
Okay.
So these stories are
does
taking
that
place.
mean? I don't know.
Because these stories are taking place like even young, even further back than the 1980s, 1970s.
Okay, according to the internet, which I don't really believe because I think they're trying to cover something up, is that Prince Eric was 18 in the film. That character's supposed to be 18. I don't know
And he's manning a ship?
Yeah.
The guy's on a ship, captaining a ship. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
And that's a nostalgia test tangent.
Where are we?
Aladdin somewhere.
Yeah.
So wait, I said my favorite song, like, because I thought that was a great,
and then
great
you went
animation.
on a huge tangent.
That's what I do.
That was a Manny tangent.
And you said it was
Whole New World.
what was it? Whole New World.
Yeah.
Jen, what did you say? We didn't get Jen.
Yeah, I don't think I said, and I was trying to think about it because I do love all of the songs. I think they're really great, but I think I might. I was gonna say go with like Prince Ali, but now that I know there's lines about slaves, it feels a little inappropriate. But I do think that's like a fun song / scene with all like the parade stuff.
Yeah,
I like the jokes that they do, like that they're like pretending to announce the parade.
Yeah, exactly. Where he's like being the TV hosts and everything, and I don't know.
One of those. Yeah, the woman the impersonation is supposed to be like Mary Hart, which is so interesting. Again, these are like great impersonations for kids. Mary Hart, William F. Buckley Jr., Robert De Niro.
Kid, like it doesn't matter who it is; it's just a funny voice. So you're still into it. You're like, oh, it's funny. The genie's doing silly voices, and then your parents are like, that is a hilarious reference.
Yeah, when he's like, I'm getting beat by a rug. He does like the Dangerfield impression. Like, of course, the parents would be the only ones that knew what that was, So, Dan, stop hating on it. Stop hating on it. Basically, Robin Williams needs to do every impression he's done, and they're like, all right, we'll just animate that. The animators probably had so much fun with this movie because of that.
Come on. I don't know about that. I think if I was animating this film and I was like, he did what now? Now how the hell am I going to make this into this? Then I got to make this. Now I got to draw Groucho Marx somehow. And then I got to draw a version of this. Like, I think if I was the animator, I would be like, hey, can you tell him to just stick to the script a little bit more? Because we lost 12 people who don't want to be animators anymore.
I disagree with that.
We have interns drawing Jasmine. Do you see what she looks like now? Like, we're screwed.
We ran out of
They're like, they got so tired.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they had to shave off the money.
That's why. It's like, Robin, stop. Her waist is gone now. We have to put that ink over there. I don't know. I disagree because I think, like you have all those stories when like illustrators get bored. They do like X-rated things in movies just to see if they could get away with it. So I feel like they didn't get that bored with Aladdin.
Is this the one where it says "sex in the stars"? Is this the one where that happens?
I think that's a rumor. I don't think it's real.
I think.
I thought that was debunked. That was yes, but I thought this was something with the cloud.
I don't know.
I'm
trying to remember back to like 4th grade.
Yeah, like the rumors.
I think this one, it was supposed to be when like Aladdin was when he came to see Jasmine as like the prince, which great disguise, new clothes. Like,
hey,
I'm so glad
worked for Superman. Yeah, it works for Superman.
I'm so glad Jasmine called that out though. I was like, thank God, just call out the fact that this moron was just like changed his clothes and that's a bad disguise. Like, unlike Lois Lane, who's just like, wait, who are you? Like with a pair of glasses. Thank God Jasmine was able to call that out. But like, I think that in that moment, he was supposed to, when the tiger comes to him, he was supposed to say something like, all good Girls or all good.
All good teenagers take off their clothes.
I didn't hear it.
No.
It's supposed to be that.
I didn't hear it.
The bee, when the genie's the bee, he says that very quickly. Like, he whispers it to him. But, like, I didn't hear it. And I heard that that's just a rumor that went around. That was like an urban legend.
Yeah.
That they needed to do it so you'd go watch the movie and see if you heard it again and again and again and again and again. So, but I do remember that title, the cover of the VHS of Little Mermaid. And
has
what
a penis in it.
The penis tower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They got that. And that was because that illustrator got fired. And as she was leaving, she signed print on this and they caught it too late. And they already had how many copies, 1 million copies of the VHS out. So
Amazing.
They did not know. So
also, I think Sex in the Sky was Lion King, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
it was, but I do remember that they said that. Yeah, the rumor. There's supposed to be another.
I just don't want to, spread even more false information.
Oh no!
I think it was
also,
Lion King, not Aladdin. Yeah.
That's what we do on this podcast. We spread false rumors, like
about
it, and then
that mean nothing really. So it's like, go look it up.
I wanted to say some of the impersonations that were cut from the film were Fred Rogers, Edward G. Robinson, John Wayne, George Bush, Sir Alec Guinness, Bill Burke, Wolfman Jack, Dr. Ruth, Dr. Ruth, Richard Nixon, Michael Jackson, Matthew Lillard.
Wow.
What?
Marlon, I know, that
right.
doesn't make sense. Like, IMDb, you're lying here.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando, Curly Howard, Elvis Presley, W.C. Fields, Bing Crosby, and Don King.
Where would he have put all those?
Where did he put these that he put in there? He just did it.
Yeah. But, like, I get, like, some... No, you're right. He just did it.
Yeah.
I wanted to...
Just
I wish
any
he could
line reading.
Like, out of nowhere.
To do it in a different voice.
Yeah. Like, that rug thing was probably, like... They're like, what are we going to have him do while they're just waiting? Like, he's just waiting on the lawn. Like, first of all, that's another thing. This palace is happening. The prince is here visiting, and they just have him outside on the lawn, like, chilling. Like, they didn't give him a room, a tent, or anything. Like, he's just, like, hanging out on the lawn, same clothes as before. He doesn't go take a bath, nothing. There's no, like, people there to help him, feed him a little bit, nothing. There's like, oh, come hang out in the lawn, and, your magic carpet could play with this genie thing that's around. This is a terrible movie. What do you do there?
Wow.
The songs save it, though. The songs save it.
I think my favorite joke was Jafar when he just said ecstatic. I laughed out loud at that line when he's like, ecstatic. That was the funniest line in the whole movie for me. I don't know. It was just like, I don't know why. It was just great.
So all in all, the story-wise, what are you thinking? Did you like the twist, the plot twist? Did we like all that? Was it fun? I actually think this movie was fast. Like, I didn't think...
Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, man. That's another thing that I've realized doing these tests is that I'm like, I always feel like things are longer in movies. We get to, like, punchlines so quickly. I was like, oh, that's how fast this happened? Like, we were at Prince Ali so quickly. I was like, oh, I thought this, like, took longer to get here. And it didn't. And I didn't feel like I was, like, dragging along. Like, oh, come on, get to the next part already. I was like, okay. Yeah. This moved at a good pace.
Yeah.
I thought.
The tight 90-minute movies. I'm a fan.
It's definitely made for, like, a kid's attention span, because there's a moment, too, like, pretty early on where, like, Genie and Aladdin are hanging out, and, like, the Genie's calling him Al and being like, we're friends, we're buddies, and I'm like, they met 3 minutes ago? But when I was a child, like, obviously they were best friends already. Like, they've known each other their whole lives. Like, what? Yeah. Why would we need to spend any more time developing this friendship?
Yeah, nowadays it'd be like a extra half hour of them developing it.
But he was like, immediately indebted to him to be like, I'll free you. It's just like, what? Like, and then this whole thing around. Then what was weird, what you're saying too, Jen, is about that their friendship developing in 3 minutes. When Aladdin is in just standing outside trying to figure out what's going on, where everyone can hear him, and he's just sitting there going, the genie's like, you need to tell her the truth. You need to be honest with her. It's just like, we're at that part of the relationship where now you're telling him just to be honest. You just changed him into a prince, and now you're like, you know what? Everything I just did, I made all those people, and where did they? where did they go? I want to know where the people he made went after they closed the door. Did they just evaporate, and then everyone in the town's been like, what the fuck? Where'd the
change go? Where'd all the money go?
Yeah. Where'd all the monkeys go? The elephants, the golden camels? Like, did they just go poof, gone as soon as they were because? And then he just be honest with her. It's just like that. You're negating the wish you just granted him.
Well, he just wanted to get it over with, right? Because he really wanted his last wish.
He wanted to go Disney.
He wanted to go to Disney. Is that what you thought when he was like, "Oh, you just are you falling in love? Where are you gonna? What are you gonna do next?"
Well, at the end, he was wearing the Goofy hat.
Oh yes.
There's also another little Easter egg when the Sultan is stacking those like animals.
Yes.
Towards the top, you could see one is the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
I will say I do have a very funny picture of me from when I was like 4 years old and I went to Disney World and I got Jafar to sign my autograph book and I was petrified of him.
Really?
And it was captured on film, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, I had an autograph.
Do you have
book
that
too.
photo? You have a photo of
Oh,
that?
I'll have to find it. I think it's at my parents' house, yeah.
We should have that for like social media posted about that. That's awesome.
I feel like I'm near tears in the photo, but I got his autograph.
I find that funny that like villains are like they still put villains in like for
I
you
don't
to
know
meet them.
if they still do, honestly, but
I don't know
did in
because
the
now
90s.
there's like if you go on Disney Plus, like there's like a whole villain section.
Yeah.
To watch and the stories behind the villains and stuff. So
And there was a
it's
series
like, almost like an anti-hero.
There was a series too that was like the children of all of the villains that like go to school together. So like Jafar has a daughter, I think. So maybe that means people like him more now because they're like, oh, he's connected to so and so from that show.
I want to know who. How did that happen? Like,
no, that's true. My niece is
probably that like mind control scepter was involved. Let's be honest.
Oh no. It's in one of the straight to DVD or straight to VHS sequels.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god,
no, that's true. My nieces and nephew would tell me about that, and I was like, "This is too complicated." I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, this person's kid has this power, and they're this, and they're actually nice now, and the nice people have like bad kids." So it's like they're all just trying to say like everyone can exist together.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Dan, it's just another way to make money and sell toys.
Yes.
Like that's all this is.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, it was funny that you say that, Austin, with the autograph book. When I was a child and I went to Disney, I had an autograph book too. It was so interesting to ask these like characters to sign something.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to Disney World for the first time when I was a kid. My brother would. There's video of him on my dad was videotaping everything. He literally hit every character. He would just like walk up to them and be like, "Hey," and then he would punch them. And so every character he saw, he punched. He punched Pluto. He punched Goofy. Chip and Dale were like, "Hey," and then he like punched them. Oh, so there's like video of him.
And your
just
dad
punching.
is loving this.
Yeah, he's in the camera.
And his punishment is like
laughing his ass
terrible.
off, just like he's in there, like, look at that. And that's what you do when you're a parent. You have video cameras.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like being those characters, it's like Broadway and then a Disney character, right? Like in the echelon of like you've made it. Like if you're that character, you have to be on point, know everything about them because that child. It needs to be consistent with every single person you run into.
Yep.
That's right.
So like those guys, like it's like a play that they have to memorize constantly, and like I think that even the signatures have to be the same, right? Because like you're breaking the magic if you can't do it. Have you ever hung out with a person who was a Disney character? They know how to party.
Oh wow!
Outside the suit? What kind of what?
Yeah, no. There's like I didn't get to meet them, but my wife was like, "Yo, they go to like I guess it's like Pleasure Island in Disney World, and they have industry night, and where it's like the person who's playing Cinderella's just taking shots and all this stuff because like they have to be on the whole day, and you can't. It's like being a teacher where you can't like you can't drop character, and then like they just like let loose.
I think they're just like drinking their sorrows away, being like, I went to acting school for years and now I'm in this thing, and they're just drinking beyond belief. Dude,
like, if you're Belle, that's a pretty big character.
Yeah.
You're very popular.
You're Belle in the park. You're not Belle from the movie. You're like, that's
a big deal. You know how many people come and see you?
But it's got a short shelf life, right? Like, you're not going to look 16 forever.
Exactly. Like, if we look at it again, like Belle's 17.
Then you could play Cinderella's stepmother.
Yeah, then you go to the evil stepmother.
Like, you just go to you become those roles now.
Oh, she has TikTok. She has a great TikTok. The one who used to play the evil stepmother at Disney World. She's got a
really?
Yeah, she's got a great TikTok.
Oh, wow.
See? There's career.
Shout out.
There's career, Dan.
Sorry, my microphone just fell over.
That's got meatball.
All right, so I mean, is there any other like highlights from this?
Yeah, I want to know where Aladdin was sent to when he was barefoot in like the snow. And
Antarctica. I would say Antarctica.
So the magic carpet again, like the magic carpet travels at light speed.
Magic carpet is like being in the movie Interstellar. It defines gravity, speed, time, everything. Like you can't. It's magic, Dan.
But he's not even.
When you're in the magic carpet, when you're like there, you don't feel cold, you don't feel wind, like because being that
in the magic carpet.
There's a bug. You become in it. When you step on top of it, you become the magic carpet.
Manny.
That's why.
First, I just want to say one thing about Aladdin's whole like clothing
wardrobe,
vest, no shirt.
MC Hammer.
Way to do it.
Yes,
dude, he was MC Hammer.
Yeah,
that's what they got. I think they got
the pants
inspiration from the pants.
Was inspired by MC Hammer. That drop,
and I think the vest. I'm sure MC Hammer wore that vest in a video where he's sweating, like too legit to quit.
I do like in that snowy scene, he picks up Abu and like tries to put him in the vest, but the vest barely covers anything. So I'm like, what is that helping? You don't have any body heat either.
I know. He just puts it in like what looks like a napkin is attached to and he's like, there you go, Abu, we got you. He's got no shoes on. And he's like, and he's in like 20 feet of snow. And then this thing is rolling towards him. I know it's animated. I get it. Everybody listening is probably like, Dan, shut the fuck up. This is an animated movie. But like the character runs and like, I'm going to, that little window.
You're timing it perfectly.
Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, man. It was great.
And then the carpet.
You believed it. As a kid, you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, I see no issues.
It was great.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he didn't have shoes.
Issues, Dan.
This is the first time I realized he didn't wear shoes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, in the video game, he doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah, but that's a game.
So what?
Yeah, whatever.
His calluses have been built. That's why he doesn't get frostbite. He has the calluses from like running on buildings and all that stuff. So like he's not even feeling that he has no.
Yeah, I loved his apartment.
His apartment. His apartment reminded me of Feifel. Coming to America, where he hung out.
Coming to America.
Was it not Coming to America? American Tail.
Yeah. Oh man.
I got like for some reason when I saw that, it like brought me back to the scene in Feifel. So, but I don't think there's any other highlights. Like the scene where like the Sultan becomes evil, like the all power.
Jafar.
Jafar becomes the Sultan.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, I'm the most powerful person in the world, but like again, it's just him and Jasmine. Like there's no other people around. Like the animators were like, man, we drew too many people during that Never Had a Friend Like Me scene and the Prince Ali scene. Like I can't draw more people around this crew. Like why is he so obsessed with him? Why does Jasmine have to be like he could have just made like every single woman that's in that like come and hang out with him. He's like, no, Jasmine. We need to just draw Jasmine.
Yeah,
that's it.
Jafar's whole thing was that he wanted to be Sultan and have all this power, but he didn't really do anything with it. Like he just made the palace slightly higher from the city and then sat around. It's like, are you trying to do evil? Are you trying to amass wealth? Like, are you going to go to war with a neighboring nation and take their land? Or are you just like, I got the title, don't know what to do with it?
Can you imagine living there and then all of a sudden this gigantic genie yanks this castle out of the ground and moves on the hill? I'd be like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm out of here.
They should have showed you the like cutscene, and it's just people just packing up and leaving. Like, no, I'm out. Well, first of all, then why does the genie have to pick up the?
Because he told him to.
No, he just said, "I'm going to become. I want to become a sultan." What, like when I saw that, when he's like, "Oh, he's my master now," and he's like picking it up, I'm like, "Genie, you weren't doing this much for Aladdin."
Creative license.
Yeah, because I guess, Aladdin said, make me a prince. He didn't say, throw me a parade. So, the genie was like, I'm just going to have a little fun with it. So now with this guy, he's like, all right, I guess I'll remove the palace and put it halfway up in the sky. Also,
he's been in a... Sorry,
go.
He's been in a lamp for thousands of years. Like, he's a little rusty.
Yeah. And it's been 10,000 years, right?
He wants to have some fun. He's just like, all right, we're going to throw this parade. I'm going to make a bunch of people. And then the other thing, I'm going to just move this castle because now it's been moved. Now that everyone's gone back to what they were, the castle's still up there. Like, so they're like,
oh, yeah.
Fuck, what are we going to do? What are we supposed to do? Genie! Oh, damn it. He's gone.
He's gone.
Gone. Like, I can't do anything. And he's
again,
blue.
That's why, like, you could have just done, like, wait, before you go, Genie... We'll have the Sultan rub the lamp. We'll get a couple things done. Like, can we put the thing back down? Like, because you lost magic.
Yeah. Can you bring back all those people that died while Jafar was becoming the most powerful, whatever, and he created a gigantic storm that literally probably wiped everyone out?
Yeah. And then, how do you think Jafar is going to be as a genie?
Horrible.
Yeah, not good.
He's probably going to trick the first person into like letting him free, right?
But is he clever enough?
Well, he's got
the
Iago.
bird's still with him. Iago's still there.
True.
Is there
so Iago can't rub their lamp because Iago could literally just be. He could have just like let him free. Like when he gets, I guess he's trapped as well, so he has to wait.
Yeah, but also Iago's not magic like Jafar the genie is, so that bird's just gonna die in that lamp, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, he's 10,000 years. He can't unless like. The genie has to constantly like use his magic to keep him alive. Like, oh man, okay, I got it. No, because then he could get out. Yes, so he's just have to keep like, oh, you're dying. Okay, here you go. That's a great question. Physics of being in a genie lamp.
Well, there was a 1994 direct-to-video animated musical fantasy film, The Return of Jafar, Aladdin 2, that did come out. So we can all watch that to find out what happens. And Gilbert Gottfried was in that movie. And Jason Alexander.
Guy's still making money.
Wow. Okay. I can't do this.
All right. So we're here. I don't know where we went, but we're here. We went around the world with Aladdin. We came back. So we're at the point where we put this to the test. Do you guys know the whole test thing? Like what the standards are? Did you guys get it? So it's like, and go November rain. That's it.
I think so. I think it passes. I think it's nostalgic, but I think it's still like genuinely a good movie. It's not perfect, but it's extremely watchable, and it's very good music and good jokes, and I mean it's got the content warning now on Disney Plus, so there's that.
See, that's the thing, like, when you always compare movies now, and like, if you're looking at it, the lens, through the now lens, you could say that about a lot of movies. Like, will it really pass? Like, no, because if you want to say, like, through our lens now, it wouldn't, people would be, like, really offended by it. But, like, it's still, like, the music makes it a good movie. Like, I agree with that. Like, I think it's definitely, it's good. I liked it. So... What do you think, Jen?
Yeah, it's super nostalgic, obviously, because I think anyone who's around our age grew up with it and absolutely loves it. But it's still just a good movie, and maybe that is my own bias. Maybe it is because I grew up with it, but I just think it's really fun. It's funny. The songs are great. I think if you put like a 6-year-old now in front of it, they'd have a great time. So it still is successful, like for what it is as a kid's movie. And then yes, like Austin said, it does have that Disney Plus warning of like, sorry that we were racist. So if you go into it with that, you will have a good time.
Oh my god!
It's still not the most racist movie Disney made.
No, honestly, when I saw that warning, I was like, "What other movies on Disney Plus have this? Is it on like all of them? Is it on like Dumbo about the crows? Like,
is it got to be on Peter Pan?
Right?
Oh,
Peter Pan
it is
got to be the most racist, one of the most.
It's
racist.
on Peter Pan,
dude. Have you seen Peter Pan?
No.
Holy God!
Oh, I love Peter Pan. It was one of my faves as a kid, but like, wow, is that racist? Like,
it's
blatantly.
horrible.
The whole song.
Go November rain. That's it.
Like, holy fuck! They put that in a movie. Wow. I sang that as a child. That's not okay.
But there's also a moment where they go,
go November rain. That's it.
And I'm like, holy shit. But also it's super, like way more I mean, this movie's misogynistic. But what they do to Tinkerbell in Peter Pan, the animated film, they literally spank her ass to get like the dust out of her. And she's wearing something that would never cover anything of her. Impossible.
Yeah.
Like, everything about Peter Pan is wrong. Everything. The dog, like, just in the idea of Peter Pan, the dog is taking care of them. Like, it's literally their parents.
They're neglectful.
Like, they have
parents.
the worst parents of all time, and everything's wrong. That Peter Pan is a demon, and like everything about that movie is wrong.
Yeah. And Neverland is supposed to
It's boys who don't want to grow up.
Yeah, Neverland is supposed to be like the magical adventure, be a kid forever place. Unless you're Wendy, because now you're the fucking mom and you have to take care of everyone.
Or it's a magic place where a psychopath with like a hook for a hand is also trying to murder you.
Yeah, murder
like
children.
Anyway, and he shoots someone in that movie. He shoots someone in that movie. There's like a part in that movie where all the pirates are singing, and then there's some guy that's doing something, and Captain Hook takes a gun out and literally goes, pfft, and he kills somebody in the movie.
Wow. So I hope the warning is on that one.
It definitely is.
So,
I feel like I watched it.
I know the warning is. Yeah.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe
and delete all that.
So, do I think
Marvel
Aladdin,
movies? Let's make them.
Do I think Aladdin passes? I think I'm with everyone. I think it's super nostalgic. And I do think it passes the test. I think it was fun to watch. I think now with new eyes, it actually is more fun, but you could see all the things that are also a problem as well, because let's be honest, like, it's Disney, but I think it's still good. I think it was, Robin Williams really makes this film. Without him, though, this movie would have been, like, I don't know, boring as hell. I think, like, without him, once he comes in, it really like takes off, and then it literally takes off because then the movie's over in about, like, I don't know, 25 minutes.
I think he definitely provides, like, all the music, like, is great because of him, like all the little jokes, everything, like, the rest of it. I mean, but although we have to say A Hole in the World was good, and there was no Genie or Robin Williams in that one, but the rest of it, he killed it. I mean, this was his movie.
Yeah.
And like Jen, you said before, I mean, no, I think it was Austin said it, that this was the kickoff to, all right, wait, we could put more more well-known names in our movies that would skyrocket the sales of these movies.
Yeah.
Which is what happens after this.
And oddly enough, Robin Williams was filming this and Hook at the same time, I think. And so, interestingly enough, which we are going to be doing Hook as well, but like...
Are we going to put that to the test?
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Yes.
I don't want to ruin my childhood on that one. Really? With your lens, Dan? You want to do that?
It's already on the schedule, dude. Don't try to get around it. It's happening. But wow, Jen, Austin,
Rufy.
Thank you so much for being here, for putting this amazing Disney film to the test, and definitely, let everyone know about where they can hear your podcast and how they can follow you all and get, and just also listen to your podcast, which is super funny. Everyone definitely check out their podcast. It's really amazing. But go ahead, tell everyone where they can find it.
Oh, well, thanks for having us, first of all. We release new episodes every Tuesday. It's called I Hate Your Taste in Movies. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. That's pretty much, or we're on Twitter at I Hate Your Taste, or on Instagram, I Hate Your Taste Pod.
Awesome.
That's about the spiel.
Before you guys go, I like Dan always is like, I always extend a little bit longer. I need to find out a couple things. What is both of yours favorite movie, and what movie did you turn around because, let's say, Austin said she really liked it and you didn't like it at first, but you're like, oh, actually, you're right.
Well, Austin's never right, so I don't really have an answer for that one.
You know what? Honestly, I think if we go through the back catalog, you will find that I think I have a higher success rate of all of us liking movies than anyone else, but it's fine.
So, favorite movie, Jen?
Oh my god, it's so hard. I think my favorite movie of all time is like Jurassic Park. Because it's just like the perfect blockbuster, like popcorn movie, but it's like it holds up. I watch it like at least once a year since it's come out, so it still holds up. It's still entertaining, so I'll go with that.
Austin.
My favorite movie is a movie that no one's ever heard of, and the people that have made seen do not like it, but it's called Pennies from Heaven. It's with Steve Martin and Bernadette Peters. It's from 1982. I love it so much.
Pennies from Heaven.
Yeah.
What's the premise of it?
It's
Jen's cracking up.
Yeah, she made us watch it. It's like, okay, so Steve Martin is like
a song salesman. He sells he sells sheet music, and then he tries to sell records. It's during the Great Depression. He have you seen Dancer in the Dark with Bjork?
No.
Because I feel like it's kind of got a similar premise.
You're
where
going more obscure, Austin.
Is that more obscure?
Wow.
Okay. Back up. We'll just back it up. Steve Martin, Bernadette Peters, Christopher Walken is also there. There's lots of tap dancing. It's great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And who your other co-host is the horror person, right?
No, I'm
Jen's
the horror person.
No, Jen.
Oh, Jen, you're the horror person.
Jackie's the action person, and if she was here, she would tell you her favorite movie is Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does she think it's a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Yeah.
Probably. I think she thinks it's an any occasion movie. Like, she'd watch it every day.
It's a day that ends in Y kind of movie.
Yeah.
So Jen,
that's her favorite one.
I have to ask you then, and then we'll get this episode's insane. So have you seen, and did you all do Black Christmas yet? Like the original Black Christmas?
Yes, we have.
Okay. That movie scared the hell out of me. It still does. It is one of the greatest horror films. It's really got to be one of the best.
It's one of my
local
all-time favorites. Yeah, it was filmed, the original, here in Toronto. So when we recorded the episode, we went around town and got photos of all the locations. Like the house, the sorority house is down the street from me, and we it's on some private road because it's a rich person's house. So we snuck in and took photos and was like, I hope they don't call the cops on us.
Yeah, and then we part of it's the University of Toronto campus. And, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, that movie.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
So good.
I couldn't go up a flight of stairs without running after that. I was or everything about that film is just.
Does that have the shower scene where?
That's the one where the guy calls. He's like Billy, and it's it's just creepy, dude.
This is a Matt Antonio movie.
Yeah,
right?
It's a Matt Antonio film.
Okay, got it. We have a friend that we both mutual friend that we grew up with, that we always share a nostalgic thought, oh, this is Matt showed us this. Yes, Matt did this. Yeah. So
that was a horrifying moment in my life watching that movie. But thank you so much for being on the podcast. We're so happy you came. And everyone, please tell us what you think about Aladdin. Did we get it right? Does it pass the nostalgia test? Does it stay nostalgic? Tell us in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter at Nostalgia Test, on Instagram and TikTok at The Nostalgia Test, or email us your thoughts on this and we'll read it on the next episode at thenostalgiatest@gmail.com. Everybody, thank you so much for being here, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.